I'm so excited today to have Julie Hurst with Herself Moms here in Sacramento and Roseville, California, to share a little bit about what you do to help moms and work with moms in the community. So, why don't you share a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about your passion for helping moms?
So I have a business. We call it Herself Moms, and it's a group of professionals that have come together, and we've just tried to create a place where prenatal moms and postpartum families can come and either get support or have some educational needs met or some lactation services. And overall, I would say within all of that, the biggest part is the development of community. As the moms come together and the families come together, friendships are made, and it just becomes a huge community thing. So that's, I guess, the biggest part of it.
Yeah, I think that's how I met you almost 8 years ago. I started doing the prenatal yoga when I was pregnant with my son. So, and still have friends and stuff that I met way back then. So it is really a wonderful community. So how long have you been doing this all together?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. It's probably been, I started doing the prenatal yoga close to probably 12 years ago, maybe. Yeah. And then from teaching prenatal yoga, added in the postpartum exercise class with the moms and babies, for the moms and babies. And then in 2009, we opened up our first full center up in Roseville. And that's where we started offering the added services of childbirth classes, lactation services, and grew from there into all the classes, including the ones you teach.
Yes. So what do you think is one of the most important things for moms to have? Would you say it's community, or?
I feel like it is. I feel like we're in a very transit era for families. A lot of families aren't living next to their moms and dads themselves. And so when they're beginning to start their own families, a lot of times they're kind of out there on their own. And so I think that we provide that place where they can come in, and if they start prenatal, the thing that they all have in common is they're pregnant.
Right.
And it's that commonality that the friendships are built just through that.
Yeah. No, I think that's really important. So one of the reasons I'm talking to you today is that it is May is Maternal Mental Health Awareness Month. And I think I know research shows that community is important for moms during this time, for parents in general. But also, I know exercise can be really helpful, and I know you teach a couple of exercise classes. But something I hear from moms a lot is that it's hard, especially when you're struggling, with depression or anxiety. It's hard to get out and exercise. Like, how do you encourage moms to get going, or what would you say to a mom that was struggling to
make that step out the door?
Yeah, make that step out the door.
That is difficult, and sometimes it takes a mom's partner to maybe encourage them. The thing I always try to tell my moms is our classes are a very safe place, so that you can come and you don't have to worry if baby's going to cry. They all cry.
They do, yes.
You don't have to worry if you are going to spend a lot of the class sitting there doing a feeding, because a lot of moms do. In fact, especially in those early weeks, you kind of do. Sometimes the biggest thing for a mom who's maybe 4 to 6 weeks postpartum is just getting out the door and then coming to a place where you can just be and you can practice having your baby cry in public. And you're with a whole bunch of moms who don't care because all of theirs are crying.
Right, exactly.
You can practice your nursing.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody else is figuring it out there too. And then you just gradually find that space where you'll add in a few exercises, a little bit more, and then before you know it, you're kind of off and running. Right. But I think it is difficult that if everything inside of you is yelling to stay inside the cave, you know, and to stay at home. Sometimes it's just like, okay, getting out, get a little vitamin D on your way here.
Yeah.
And then just know that you're coming to a really safe place where
Right.
you're going to be loved on.
Right. Yeah, because I think that's one of the hardest parts is like you feel isolated and it's hard to get out. And so it's nice, you know, it's like where can you find a place that is welcoming and safe like that? So I know you're a mom of one. And so I've been doing this weekly series called The Mama Interviews. And so it's been kind of fun just to get, you know, advice and support from other moms, you know, because I think a lot of times we feel like, oh, we're in this by ourselves or we're the only ones that feel a certain way. So what would you say, so one of the questions I ask is, what do you feel is your greatest personal struggle with the experience of motherhood? What would you?
Greatest personal struggle? Maybe it's that as you're going through it, because each stage is so different for your child as they're growing, it's always can be that you kind of doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of trusting your instincts.
Right.
And I think oftentimes when we trust our instincts, we're right on. So that sometimes all the advice that we can get coming in to us isn't always, if your gut is telling you, I don't feel like this is what I should be doing, listen to your gut.
I love that. Yeah.
And I think that then that's where the second time moms or the third time moms, we see them cruising a little bit easier because they've already realized that going through it the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's with that first child that it's a little bit more difficult.
It is, because you're like, what? I don't know what I'm doing.
Questioning yourself, right.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's another reason that finding a community of support so you can rely on these other people to like encourage you and reinforce that, you got this. You're doing a good job too. Just another good reason for that. What is one piece of advice you'd like to give other moms besides trust your gut, which is really good? Any?
I always tell the moms in prenatal that when we're doing warrior pose, and oftentimes in prenatal they don't like warrior pose.
No, I remember.
And I tell them they're going to be a warrior for the rest of their lives. Once you're a mom, you're that child's advocate.
Yeah.
And especially, of course, early on and in those early years when they can't verbalize or always verbalize what they need, that listen to your child, get in tune with them so that you can be their advocate, and also realize that your child may have a different temperament than you do, and it doesn't make them wrong and it doesn't make you wrong, but get to know them and enjoy that child and the blessing of who they were created to be.
Yeah, that's great. So one more question. If there is one thing that you wish a mom who thinks she's has a perinatal mood or anxiety disorder, what is it that you would tell them? Like,
reach out and get help.
Yeah.
Don't do it alone. And just be aware that it's not abnormal. Be aware that you're not alone. I mean, we have a lot of moms that struggle. I think almost every mom struggles initially. We all struggle with baby blues. We all struggle with tears. Our hormones are fluctuating.
Yeah.
So that's all normal. But don't feel like you're in it alone and then you tend to isolate.
Yeah.
But reach out and, you know, if it's not asking a family member or someone, then you can ask me.
Yes.
But find what's safe.
Yeah.
Find what feels safe and keep reaching out until you find what feels good to you.
Right.
And treat yourself well. Like those postpartum weeks are there to get to know your baby, treat yourself well, recover, take your time to do that, and just be good to yourself.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time today. I know you have so much wisdom that you share with the moms in our community. You really do. And so if you want more information, if you're a local mom, and, you know, check out Julie's website is below at www.herselfmoms.com. And thanks again.
You're welcome.
All right.